Guys, it's Matchlash here, and in this video, I'm basically gonna go over one of the best money making methods in Skyblock right now that was sadly forgotten. But if you do see this video, you should start grinding this because it is definitely one of the best money making methods there ever was, as farming is extremely bad. Well, not the worst, but it's got a huge nerf, and I don't know if it's intended or not, but it definitely was the best money making method before if you wanted a good consistent money making method. And it kind of killed off the money making method I'm going to talk about. But because the farming has kind of been killed, I don't know why, if it was intentional, but this brings back one of the oldest money making methods in the game and makes it viable for a second time. But before I get into the video, if you do end up enjoying the video or you get any help from the video and you want to stay up to date with all the different Skyblock news and just Skyblock in general and different guides, make sure to subscribe. It helps out the channel and it shows me that you like this content. Now, into the video. So I'm not going to try to stretch it out. The money making method I am talking about is grinding summoning eyes. But before you click off the video, hear me out. I'm not talking about any way of grinding summoning eyes. I'm talking about the actual most efficient way of grinding summoning eyes that there ever was and there ever is. I don't think there'll ever be a better method, so if you want to actively grind summoning eyes for a long time, you should definitely do this. This method is kinda known, but it's also kinda obscure. The reason for this is because it kinda got discovered in around the area of floor 3-ish or just after Dungeons has come out, but at this point people were not really doing any summoning eyes as a money making method because they had Dungeons and farming as the main money making methods. So this strategy has kind of gone unnoticed, but I know a good chunk of people know about it. So basically this strategy is going and getting yourself a Precursor eye. So if you don't do Dungeons or you just don't know what this item is, it's a pretty cool item. So you want to reforge it to necrotic because it requires mana, and the mana is used to do an ability which is very good. So if we read the item ability, Eye Beam. So you activate it by sneaking and it fires a laser in front of you, dealing 4000 damage and costing 40 mana. The damage increases by 100% every second for 5 seconds, and the mana cost increases by 25% every second. You can sneak again to deactivate the laser. What that means is when you sneak, it activates a laser that you can use to shoot people, and when you sneak again, it deactivates this laser, so you're not hitting anybody and you're not losing mana. One thing you may have noticed is that you couldn't really see the laser. And the reason for this is because I do not have particles on right now. So if we go into video settings and then we go into animations, we can turn on and turn off particles. So I recently just turned them off, and now if I turn them all back on, you can see that when I shift, it shoots a red beam, and when I unshift, it stops shooting the red beam. The reason I have it disabled is because when you're grinding, it can be cool, but after a while, it just becomes annoying and it doesn't really help you at all. It just becomes a nuisance, if you know what I mean. I know it's cool, but it really isn't that useful, and if you're grinding it like the way I show you, you will not even notice a difference with it having off. You'll mostly just see a positive effect. So now I'm in the Dragon's Den, and this is where we're going to utilize this feature. And basically you can already see a quick example. If I shift, I basically insta-killed that Zealot, but it's a lot better than that. So you can see a Zealot right there. If I hold out my sword and I shift, I basically insta-killed it, and that was a pretty close distance, but it gets a lot better. So I can just kill another one, and there's different locations you can do this at, but I found that the best location is right up on this pillar. There's a guy just on it right now, but you can see that you get view of a lot of different Zealots, so it's really effective. People might call you toxic, but it's a part of the game, so they can't really, it's not really their choice to say you can't use it, and they would have removed it, the admins would have removed it if it was bannable or if it was something they didn't intend, and they haven't removed it in a long time since it's been out, so I doubt they didn't intend this. So when I was showcasing it, I was basically showcasing one of the methods you can use to actually shoot them. So this method is where you quickly activate it and then deactivate it. This basically shoots your beam quickly for a second, and anything in its path will die. This is a pretty good method if you don't have too much mana, but a much easier method is to just turn it on and wait, and boom. Wait, that's actually so funny. I got his special Z-Lot, and I think that kind of proves that I'm not capping about this, and you actually can get summoning eyes using this, which is pretty cool. But getting back on track right now, what I was saying is that you can just turn on the beam and then point at all the stuff you need to hit. And then once you're done and you have to wait for them to respawn, you just turn it off. You can see in the bottom right that I only lost about 200 mana doing that. And by the time that they all respawned, I got all the mana back. So it really isn't that bad. The only bad part about this is if you leave it on for a very long time. To quote it, it says, the damage increases by 100% every second for 5 seconds, and the mana cost increases by 25% every second. This means the longer you use it, the more mana you will lose. So one thing I know is a lot of people will not be able to afford this. If we go to the AH and we check the price of one of these things, it's pretty hefty. So the Precursor Eye is pretty expensive. I bought mine for about 20 mil, and the cheapest one on the AH right now is about 21 mil. And there's not too many on the AH. You can see there's about 18 on the AH, and that's really not that many. And if a lot of people start doing this, there might be even less and less on the AH. But if you do dungeons, I don't know, maybe you could start profiting off of Precursor Eyes. I don't know if it gets really popular, but I know other people have suggested this method. But even if you're just grinding the normal way, there is a few other things you can do to maximize your profits. The first thing you must do is get yourself a Frozen Scythe. A Frozen Scythe is one of the best items to grind Z-Lots with. People say it's toxic, but it's a part of the game, and it's kind of stupid to say utilizing one of the strategies in the game is toxic. And it's not that expensive, to be honest. If you go and we search up Frozen Scythe, it's actually very cheap. The Frozen Scythe is only about 4.77 mil on lowest bin. This is with some enchants and hot potato books, but still 4.7 mil is very cheap. And if you really want to make money, that's going to make you some good money. But if you are willing to invest in a Precursor Eye, you will make a lot more as long as you grind a lot. The next thing you have to do is kinda strange, but it does help you get more profits, and it's either subscribing to Swavy, watching his streams, or joining his Discord. Because when he streams drags, you will get so much more for summoning eyes. So if you didn't know, Swavy is a content creator for Hypixel Skyblock, and he basically streams him doing different stuff in Skyblock. Because he is very rich in the game. I think he at one point was one of the richest players in the game, and I don't know if Aiken beat him, but whatever. Besides that, he is very wealthy, and he uses this money to just do dragons. I don't really know if he profits or anything, but he does them for the content and because they're fun. And he doesn't do just a few dragons, he does a lot. 90% of the time he'll one-shot the dragon, so he's doing them on cooldown, just waiting for the dragon egg to respawn. So he's doing a lot of eyes. So if you want to make money, you've gotta go and predict, or just wait till he is about to upload or about to stream, and wait till he's about to buy eyes, and either sell your eyes right before if you want to get them to sell quickly, and sometimes for a higher price. And the prices will always jump a big jump right after he sells or buys. I mean, right after he buys, a huge jump will occur. this is when you want to sell your eyes. The dude has literally bought out every single summoning eye before. So if you ever see this happen, this is your time to sell summoning eyes. I once saw summoning eyes going for 1 million coins per, and that definitely made them one of the best money making methods at that time. So that's basically the gist of this update. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.